Deep beneath the ancient streets of Rome lies a vault that time forgot. For 3 centuries, this hidden chamber has remained sealed from the eyes of the public. Inside those cold stone walls rests the greatest collection of forbidden knowledge ever assembled. Scholars whisper about its existence, yet no living historian has ever seen the texts. Generations of researchers have spent their entire lives searching for the entrance. Their quests always end in failure, thwarted by cryptic maps and deliberately placed false historical clues. To understand why this archive was buried, we must journey back to the early 18th century. A clandestine group of wealthy aristocrats decided to control the human narrative. These men were not politicians or kings, but wealthy merchants and philosophers. They believed that certain scientific revelations could destabilize the fragile order of their rapidly changing society. Through vast networks of private spies, they confiscated thousands of original manuscripts. Ancient astronomy, advanced mathematics, and lost medical treatises were gathered in secret from across the globe. Instead of burning these priceless documents, they constructed an impenetrable sanctuary underground. They wanted to preserve the truth for themselves while keeping the outside world in absolute ignorance. Engineering records from that era show enormous shipments of iron and stone entering the city. The manifests were cleverly disguised as materials meant for a grand public cathedral. Dozens of master builders worked under the cover of darkness for 12 years. Once the magnificent structure was finally completed, every single worker mysteriously vanished without a trace. The only surviving blueprint was split into 7 separate fragments and scattered internationally. Each piece was handed to a different founding family sworn to absolute and eternal silence. Rumors suggest the archive contains detailed diagrams of machines powered by clean energy, devices that could have sparked an industrial revolution a full century ahead of actual history. There are whispers of profound biological texts detailing cures for terrible historical plagues. The suppressors decided that extending the average human lifespan would overpopulate their carefully managed domains. Scholars have discovered letters exchanged between prominent scientists of the 18th century. They frequently complain about groundbreaking research materials vanishing mysteriously from their secure university library shelves overnight. One such scientist was an obscure botanist working on the principles of genetics. His entire laboratory burned to the ground just 3 days before his planned public demonstration. Historical ledgers revealed that a massive sum of gold was paid immediately afterward. The payment was traced to an anonymous trust entirely controlled by those 7 elite families. As decades passed, the society tightened its grip on the flow of information. They systematically purchased major publishing houses to ensure certain forbidden topics were never printed again. The massive bronze doors of the hidden archive were sealed with intricate mechanisms. A complex locking system required 7 distinct keys to be turned simultaneously in perfect unison. If any single key was turned incorrectly, internal weights would collapse the entryway. This lethal failsafe guaranteed that no lone intruder could ever breach the underground sanctum. In the late 19th century, an ambitious explorer claimed he located the ruins. He presented a weathered journal containing encrypted coordinates pointing directly to the hidden vault location. He gathered a brave team of excavators and traveled toward the suspected site. However, the expedition party was met with a devastating landslide before they could begin digging. Local authorities ruled the tragedy a completely natural disaster caused by heavy rainfall. But skeptical observers noted that the region had not experienced a single storm that month. Following this mysterious event, the archive passed into the realm of modern myth. Historians dismissed the entire narrative as an imaginative fairy tale created by bored conspiracy theorists. Yet, subtle clues persist throughout classic literature and famous pieces of public art. Statues scattered across major European cities subtly point their fingers toward a central geographic location. When drawn on a large map, these specific artistic landmarks form a constellation. The resulting geometric pattern exactly mirrors the celestial alignment of stars during the 18th century. Some modern cryptographers have analyzed the poetry of the era for hidden messages. They discovered a recurring numeric cipher that translates into precise measurements of an underground corridor. These alleged dimensions describe a central reading room larger than the greatest cathedral. The walls are reportedly lined with countless volumes bound in rare metal instead of leather. Such metal bindings would protect the fragile paper from moisture and eventual decay. This extraordinary preservation technique proves the creators intended the knowledge to survive for multiple millennia. Perhaps the most terrifying rumor involves detailed maps of completely unknown continental landmasses. These charts supposedly depict advanced civilizations, thriving in regions currently completely covered by polar ice. If such historical documents were ever presented to the modern public, chaos would erupt. The entire foundation of accepted global history would have to be violently rewritten overnight. This explains the relentless dedication of the secret guardians who protect the archive. They are born into their roles and trained from childhood to maintain absolute vigilant secrecy. These silent sentinels operate within the highest levels of contemporary finance and government. They possess the absolute power to erase anyone who ventures too close to the truth. During the massive global conflicts of the 20th century, the vault remained untouched. Even as bombs leveled surrounding cities, the hidden library rested safely in its silent darkness. Generals and dictators searched desperately for the legendary knowledge hidden beneath the earth. They believed that unlocking the ancient archive would instantly guarantee them total global military domination. But the original architects had anticipated the boundless greed of future military tyrants. They intentionally constructed the vault beneath a dense bedrock layer that defies conventional explosive penetration. In recent years, advanced satellite imaging technology has carefully scanned the presumed archive location. Analysts have identified a massive thermal anomaly resting far below the quiet Earth's surface. This strange heat signature suggests that the underground facility is still fully operational. Some unknown energy source continues to power the vast complex after 300 long years. Independent journalists who investigate this specific thermal anomaly often experience sudden career ruin. Their digital files are completely erased, and their professional credibility is systematically and entirely destroyed. We are forced to ask what truly lies within those ancient metal books. Could they hold the immediate solution to our current global energy crisis and environmental decay? Perhaps the archive contains undeniable proof of humanity originating from a different star. Such knowledge would immediately collapse every major religious institution functioning in the modern world today. The keepers of the vault argue that ordinary people are not ready yet. They firmly believe that sudden enlightenment would only lead to unprecedented chaos and utter destruction. However, many dissenting voices loudly argue that hiding knowledge is the ultimate human crime. By restricting access to our past, they have effectively stolen our rightful technological future. Imagine a reality where disease was eradicated centuries ago by forgotten medical pioneers. A world where poverty and hunger were solved by boundless free energy from the earth. This utopian vision remains trapped behind massive bronze doors and elaborate physical puzzles. The society governing this vault demands absolute obedience and thrives on our continuous collective ignorance. A few rogue members of the Guardian families have supposedly tried to defect. Their bodies are usually discovered in tragic accidents that arouse absolutely zero suspicion from authorities. One such desperate defector managed to mail a singular photograph before his untimely demise. The grainy picture depicts a massive underground chamber illuminated by strange, glowing blue spheres. Critics quickly dismissed the bizarre photograph as a clever manipulation of early film. However, several modern digital forensic experts have confirmed the undeniable authenticity of the chemical exposure. The mysterious blue light emitted from those spheres matches no known natural physical phenomenon. It perfectly aligns with advanced theoretical plasma physics, documented in journals confiscated centuries ago. As rising global tensions escalate, some speculate the vault might finally be opened soon. They predict the Guardians will intervene only when humanity faces absolute and complete extinction. Until that fateful day arrives, the Forbidden Archive remains a tantalizing historical ghost. It stands as a dark monument to human greed and our tragic fear of progress. Imagine the countless brilliant human minds whose life works were stolen and locked away. Their profound genius was violently suppressed to satisfy the paranoia of a wealthy elite. The ultimate truth is buried under thousands of tons of dirt and solid stone. It calls out silently to anyone brave enough to question the official historical narrative. Our ancient ancestors were arguably much smarter than the modern history books currently claim. They possessed a deep understanding of the universe that we are only now rediscovering. That profound knowledge was stolen from humanity and locked away in a dark room. The greatest crime in human history was not a war, but an intellectual theft. Every day that passes, the hidden archive gathers dust in the silent darkness. Its metal-bound books wait patiently for a generation bold enough to break the seals. We must continue to ask hard questions and demand access to our buried heritage. The answers to our deepest societal problems might literally be sleeping under our feet. Until the 7 scattered keys are found, the vast underground library will remain closed. The invisible architects of our modern reality will continue to manipulate the global narrative. We truly live in a carefully constructed illusion designed to keep us comfortably blind. The ultimate reservoir of profound human capability is securely locked away from our grasp. Those massive bronze doors guard a completely different timeline for the entire human race. It is a stolen destiny that we might never have the opportunity to experience. But history always shows that secrets of this magnitude can never be hidden forever. Eventually, The heavy weight of the suppressed truth will break through the solid stone. The forbidden archive patiently awaits the day it is finally brought into the light. Until then, 300 years of human knowledge remains locked away in the dark.